expect life to end up this way, do you? And here I thought the nightmares would just end eventually, but they never will. I guess life just goes on. Can't go on like this anymore. Reminded of my past. Why did I get to live? Why did I get to see everything just go on by and live with my trauma? Where's my melatonin? I just need some sleep, so whole month without my pills. A whole month. Just nothing but me dealing with my past. Guess you can say things just never change. The guilt will always be with me. How many times do I have to say that I didn't want to do it? How many times do I have to beat myself down until I can eventually get over it? I don't know. Here we go again. What's wrong, Ralph? You finally accept the monster you truly are? Or have you seen this so many times to the point where you've just gotten so tired of it? Little old Ralph. What was your excuse for the court? Alright. You were dragged into it by a friend of yours. That's me. You didn't want to do this. You didn't want to have any part in this. Oh, wait. That's not what you actually think. Now, is it? You had no problem, no guilt when the money was coming in. You had no sense of guilt, not until you saw what actually happened to them. Not until you saw the things you did. Your consequences building up. The only reason you felt any sort of remorse is because you saw it. But if you close your eyes enough and you don't see it, then all of a sudden you're the good guy, Ralph. You had no problem being a part of my little scheme, my little operation, old friend, until you saw what it did to a little kid. I told you I had no problem selling. You actually think my little devices were just for adults? The fact that you had no guilt, no sense of remorse when you saw an adult take one after another, after another, after another, one hit after another, knowing how addictive those things are. The problems most people have. The only time you had the problem is when you realized that maybe this isn't so good. Maybe selling nicotine isn't a good idea. And you only thought of that when you saw a little kid take one. You have no guilt for the others you've, well, taken down. And you killed me in the end. With, what was it again? Alright. A shotgun straight to the head. Where did you get that shotgun anyways? Now don't you dare twist my words. Don't you dare say I didn't feel any guilt for those people, because I did. Okay? I was hesitant at first when you asked me the question of whether I wanted to be business partners with you. I didn't like what we were doing. I warned you. I told you that kids are off the table. That we do not sell that kind of stuff to them. But did you listen to me? No, of course you didn't. Of course you didn't. You didn't care less about anything. Sure, I wasn't paying much attention to it because of the money. But the only reason I went along with it is because you were insistent. You dragged me along. You threatened to sell me out to the cops. So I did the only thing I knew I could do. I did something that I couldn't get back up. And you know what? The only thing I got charged with was murder. Whose fault was it really? Who made the product? Who sold it? Who was the face of the brand? That was you. Every death, every adult that ended up in psychiatric facilities or in DAAA meetings, or I guess AAA meetings, I don't know what they are. That was your fault. None of mine. Okay? And at least I wasn't shameless enough to the point where I would be willing to make money off of anyone. I made sure I sold to adults and adults only. Adults who knew the risks of having it, the risks of buying it. Everything else was on you. Really now? Really? Now, is that what you would like to say to Mr. Thompson? You do realize that path led him straight to his death, and you still didn't think twice. Never once did you think about leaving, not without all the money you were making. The stacks and stacks of cash that were flowing in were enough to keep you set for a lifetime. You could have left at any point. You had enough money to leave at any point you wanted to, and yet you still chose not to. You still chose to continue on knowing what happened to Mr. Thompson, one of your buyers, not mine. I never sold to Mr. Thompson. Trust me, I remember all the people I sold to. So again, I ask, are you at fault here? Do you think yourself at fault here? Or are you just the monster under the bed who thinks that he is in the right? What he did was for the good of the people. When he also partook in the dealings, the mischief. Sure, I may have been the brand. Sure, I may have sold to anyone who was willing to give me a certain amount of cash, a certain amount of money. But you you like to play righteous. You like to play like the guy who is in the right. Sure, they knew of the risks, but Does that stop anyone from doing anything? Does that stop a bungee jumper from jumping off a bridge with a bungee? Does that stop a skydiver from diving from a plane from high in the sky, risking a parachute failure? Ask me that. People take risks every day, even if they know there's a risk to it. So I ask again, who here is really the monster, Ralph? Is it you or me? Now, don't you dare pull that card on me. Don't you dare pull that card on me. You know I was broke at the time. You know I needed the money. And sure, I could have left at any time, at any point. But I felt secure. I felt safe. I felt like I had somewhere where I belonged. You were the only person I knew. The only person that stuck with me and was willing to take me in. I couldn't just leave you. Leaving the business would mean leaving you, and I didn't want to do that. I felt like I had a steady income. I felt like I had a place in life. Really now? Really? Really? Really now? You really think that? You could have told me to stop at any point, but you didn't. You could have tried to talk me out of it, but did you ever? No. Wait. Right. You choose when you're righteous and when you're not. You forget you saw me sell to multiple teenagers, to multiple kids. The only time you felt guilt is what you saw after that, what happened after one took one in front of you. Every other time you just walked away and didn't care. Never once did you ask me not to sell to kids. Never once did you try to talk me out of this business. Never once did you care until you saw it take a life. You didn't care about the fact someone fell. You didn't care about the fact if someone decided, some poor teenager got addicted to it. You didn't care less, not until you saw it take a life. And me, your friend? Me, your friend? Do you even remember my name? Do you remember the way I looked on the ground? Head like a watermelon smashed into the ground by a sledgehammer. Do you even remember my name? Do you remember the amount of lives that you and I ruined? You could have stopped me at any point, or at least tried. Did you ever try to talk me out of it? No. You couldn't care less. Not until you saw it take someone's life. Then you got all so high and mighty. But you didn't have a problem with it before. You've seen me do it multiple times, and you didn't have a problem with it. So ask again, Ralph. Why? You don't even remember my name. How were we ever friends? If you didn't try to talk me out of it, give me good advice, or try to direct me into the right path. What is my name, Ralph? I don't know. No. You're not even real. How do you know what anything that you say is true. You're just a figment of my imagination. Well. Congratulations, Mr. Sherlock. I'm a figment of your imagination. But you know what imagination is made out of, right? I've seen everything you've been up to. I am your subconscious. The part of you that, well, knows that you're a monster. Knows of what you've done, knows the kind of person you are. See, we're two sides of the same coin, you and I. Notice how I don't wear glasses, and you do? Notice how I wear specifically red, while you don't wear anything, well, any specific color. You're all over the place. I'm here to remind you of what you've done. I'm here to remind you that you are a monster and that you can't be in society anymore. You can't be trusted. You can't live a normal life. Not after all the people you've hurt. Not after all you've done. What is my name? What is my name? What is my name? What is my name? I don't know. He's right. But he's wrong. It can re-enter society. It can be normal. Hopefully. I've never always been the positive kind. The optimistic kind. Is it morning already? I'm nothing more than a hypocrite. I truly didn't care until I saw it take a life. I should have tried to stop him. I should have tried something. Now his blood is on my hands, and there's nothing I can do to change that. At least today it was a different nightmare. I usually have a nightmare of seeing that kid. Poor kid. He bought one, took one hit, and then he hit the floor. Hopefully the future has something else in store. Nothing like some cold water to wake you up, huh? Where's the dry towel? Why is there? He's not there. He's not there. He's not there. He's not there. He's not. He's not there. I should set up an early appointment. Hey. Yeah, may I schedule an early appointment with my therapist, please? What's his name? It's John Hudson, I believe. John Hudson. Yeah, him. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sounds about right. Always wears blue under his lab coat. Yeah. Yeah, that's him. Yeah, I would like to set up an early appointment with him. Oh, you have him on the phone. Hey. I would like to set up an early appointment. I think I've made some progress. Yeah. Yeah, of course. I just need to be there before work. 10 a.m.? Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, of course right now. What do you mean tomorrow? Yeah? Uh-huh. Alright. Mr. Theodore. Yeah, well, it seems like today's a day for good news all around. I'll see you then. I've also got some good news to share with you. This may be the last time you may see me as your therapist. Good to see that you're doing some progress. Yeah, of course. Of course. Yeah. Okay, I'll see you then. You hear that? He wants an early meeting with me. You see? That's how good of a therapist I am. Alright. Question, where's the soap? Crazy old coot. He's always wanted to overshare. Y'all seem real friendly towards each other. Is he a friend? And if he is, ain't he supposed to be your therapist? Just in having, your friend, a therapist. A little, what's the word? Alright. Unprofessional? And here I thought I was rid of you. To answer your question, I guess he's kind of a friend. He acts that way towards all his patients, from what I've seen. He's a real friendly guy, so I guess you could consider him a friend. Although he overshares a lot. I feel like sometimes I'm his therapist. Well, I'm glad you at least made 2 friends, you hypocrite. More of a heck a lot more than you had, which was 1, me. Well, off to this appointment, shall we? We don't want to keep the dear old doc waiting. Please, let this be a good day.